For BeMatrix 2018 Student Design Challenge, myself, Lexie Tabbert, and Vincent were paired together to create an event for Mini.
BeMatrix partnered with the School of Technology, Art and Design as a learning experience for students to utilize a building system for exhibits. BeMatrix wanted students to utilize their B62 system while creating their spaces. This process will help all of the students better understand how to create a sound structure that can actually be built.
BeMatrix presented students with a 100 by 100 island space at the annual SEMA show, in which the goal is to advertise for the provided vehicle brand. The intended focus for the space is to be a cohesive, comfortable environment for buyers and sellers to connect and engage. Physical structure, color, tones, and activities will all be factors in determining the level of success that the space has.
While researching the Mini brand, we quickly learned that Mini really doesn't fit the norm in the automobile world. How Mini first got started was due to a design challenge. People wanted a small car for the city, yet still had a lot of inside room. Mechanics and designers put their heads together and decided to change the normal layout of a car and switch the location of the motor to make more room inside. This point goes to show that Mini's passion lies in pushing boundaries and making the impossible possible.
Another large facet to Mini is their ability to customize for their customers. Mini can sell to a top-line racer, a single mother, or a college student in one day under one roof. Mini offers a very easy customizable program which keeps their customers happy and returning. Because of happy customers, Mini has very high brand loyalty.
We base the vision of our space on the Mini brand itself. The Mini brand prides itself in winning hearts and turning heads. No matter what style, color, or size, Mini will show attendees how every day they push big boundaries in small ways. Attendees will feel inspired to become part of the community and become a Mini owner. Here's the first view of the space we had created for Mini at SEMA 2019.
For this show, we have created two specific personas that would be attending our event. Persona 1 would be an existing Mini dealer who has been dealing the Mini brand for years. They are committed dealers who come to all the events and are dedicated to helping convert their audiences to Mini drivers. Persona 2 is someone who has been in the car dealership world for a while. They deal in more generic vehicle brands such as Toyota, Honda, or Ford. They are looking for a change in the dealership world. These people are coming to SEMA to look for what some of their options may be.
Before we were to come up with the end product, we worked on many stages of sketching. As partners, we sat down and came up with several possible ideas, which we did our best at putting on paper. From these various sketches, we came to a more defined look in which we worked with the concept of using interesting structures to advertise the product.
Mini is a well-established company, and we didn't want to change their design style that they currently use, but we wanted to be able to better define the style for our personal use within the project. After research, we found that Mini's brand best fed into the style of modern industrial. Modern industrial design style offers an interesting way of connecting the raw and the refined. In addition, we pair the sleek and modern with the vintage and classic. While there is no one-size-fits-all look for this style, use of exposed materials, cool tones intermixed with pops of highly saturated color, hard line accompanied by modest use of organic shape, and the idea of taking an existing element and developing it to fit the future.
Within our 100 by 100 space, we have many features to our exhibit. This space features 9 different areas where guests can take a seat and rest or engage with one another. 5 different vehicle display areas, in which some are interactive for the guests to engage with the brand, a reception desk where staffers can engage and direct attendees, LED monitor walls for guests to learn about the brand, a storage closet for staffers, personal belongings, and 2 bar stations for guests to grab a drink and enjoy their time with Mini.
This view features the bottom right-hand corner of the exhibit. While there is no right or wrong way to enter the exhibit, the reception desk is intended to be off to both sides of the exhibit to help bring awareness to all the attendees that might want to engage with staffers.
Jumping to the top right corner of the space, here's one view of the yellow tower structures that showcases a visually interesting car display. The headlights are illuminated to catch the eye of the passing by crowds and encourage them to enter the space.
Here is a view of one of the LED screens located inside the exhibit. The content on these screens will be interchanging between Mini branded content and the results of the Mini customizable experience inside.
With the bird's eye view of the space, you can get an overall feel of just how cohesively modern and industrial can encompass a space. The cool tones of the natural show hall floor are livened with highly saturated materials. The sleek organic curve of the Coopers is highly contrasted with the sharp, powerful edges of the surrounding structures. While overall the exhibit has a minimalist nature, engaging conversation and connections will take place within every inch of this space.
For the pre-show mailer of this event, we have created an expandable invitation. This invitation invites guests to bring the mini card to the event to get entered into several giveaways at the show. The idea of starting with a very small envelope and expanding it into a large poster reflects the ideals of Mini by pushing boundaries in small ways.
Any pre-show mailer recipients that bring their Mini card will be entered into winning one of these jackets. These jackets are used by Mini racers and signify membership into the Mini community. We were inspired to give away a Mini racer jacket to reflect Mini's lifestyle collection, which is an external branch of Mini supporting the brand through merchandise products, which in return creates more of an affiliation within the Mini community.
Underneath this hanging structure will be an experience area for guests to interact with the brand. On the iPads, guests will be able to page through all kinds of content relating to the Mini brand. Emphasis will be on Mini's past, present, and future at these stations.
Looking a bit further to the inside of the booth are semi-enclosed spaces where guests will crowd to get a spot. In this area, guests will be invited to do a walkthrough customization of their own Mini. Mini focuses heavily on their ability to customize to their clients' needs, so this area showcases the quality of the brand to the guests. Staffers will be in the space providing emphasis on some of the special features that Mini can offer. While this area is a fun and Insta-worthy experience, its focus is to spread the power of a personalized product, allowing people to memorialize a relationship.
Once completed with creating the ideal Mini, guests will complete the process by naming their new car. According to science, people have often name inanimate objects when those objects become companions of their everyday life. This process is inviting guests to personalize their own vehicle and name it, which creates an immediate connection between the vehicle and the attendee who personalized it. Once the vehicle is completed, it will be displayed on the LED screens on the outside of the exhibit as a representation of the new members of the Mini community.
An elevated vehicle display is featured on the outside of the exhibit, with a learning station near the vehicle platforms for guests to learn and engage with the Mini brand. Similar to the iPads underneath the hanging minis, content will vary from past, present, and future Mini endeavors.
On the opposite corner of the exhibit features 3 ground-level Mini Coopers, which allow guests to physically engage and interact. This area, unlike anywhere else in the exhibit, allows guests to touch and feel and truly immerse with the product.
Kitty corner from the last featured reception desk gets another reception area. Mentioned before, there is no right or wrong way to maneuver the space, but we wanted to create a traffic flow for attendees to gravitate to the center. We were inspired by the idea of a crosswalk and creating a path that went from corner to corner. People will naturally walk along the path and be inspired to participate in the experience and learn about the Mini brand.
Lastly, this is a view of the top portion of the exhibit. These overhanging structures reflect how Mini strives to push boundaries, making the impossible possible.
70% of the exhibit is made of BeMatrix frames, while the other 30% is custom elements. 192 frames are the standard 16 by 39. 392 of the frames are the 12 by 12, and 128 are 7 by 48, totaling at 712 frames.
Onto the logistics of this space. Due to multiple hanging objects within our booth, we came out with 16 rig points. On the right, you can see an isolated view of the objects that would require rigging. With these items rigged, we do not rely on the BeMatrix system to support the weight of these elements.
Divided into 10 by 10 grids, pictured is a plan view of how the electrical would need to be laid out to power the space. Four 2,000 watt plug-in points would be required to support 23 outlets, powering all 17 of the light sources within the exhibit.
Breaking the exhibit into smaller views, you get a better idea of the dimensions within the space. The extending hanging panels have a dimension of 8 by 49, hanging 13 feet in the air. The smaller hanging sign sits at a max height of 20 feet. 2 LED monitors are 6 by 19 by 15 each. 2 yellow hanging structures are at a square dimension of 19 by 19 by 19. The vehicle display boxes are slightly elevated at 1.5 and 3 feet tall, both having the same length and width of 12 by 12.5 feet.
And lastly, the main experience area, the tallest point in which serves as a main focal point, extends to the max height of 20 feet, while the surrounding structure comes in a little bit lower at 16. While there are several dimensions on the plan view for this area, when you look at the measurements, you will see that both black areas are the exact measurements mirrored. Inside the experience area is a raised BeMatrix flooring system.
After the show, attendees who went through the Mini customization experience will be sent a replica of the Mini that they created. This product is displayed as a memorabilia item inside a case, similar to a singular baseball display case. Following the impactful experience guests had at the show, Mini wants to present the attendees of the experience with a valuable possession that further creates a need for them to be part of the Mini community.
For this project, we planned a corporate event which would take place for SEMA show after SEMA show hours, in which we based around one persona type. This event is based entirely around the persona of being an absolute Mini fanatic. These are dealers who live and breathe the Mini brand. This event is in place for all to come together and celebrate the Mini community.
During the corporate event, professional tattoo artists will be present for Mini fanatics who would crowd in line to get a Mini branded tattoo. Because of the community that surrounds the Mini brand, these tattoos will signify the final step into the Mini society. Drinks, connections, and networking will continue to occur as the event progresses through the night.
This social media plan lists when and what material would be sent out pre, during, and post-show. This content varies from e-blasts, physical mailers, social media outreach, and giveaway items.
Unlike any BeMatrix projects done before, students source and price everything inside their exhibits. Here is a pricing guide that we use throughout the designing of our booth. We did our very best to factor in as many things as we could so that we could keep this number as true as possible.
The number to hit was 1 million, and we were slightly over budget at $1,121,658.52. Thank you for listening to our presentation for the BeMatrix 2018 Student Design Competition.